make you feel good? Don't you wanna feel good, good, good? Sometimes I wish that we could go back before you got hurt, hurt, hurt. When before I was scared, now I'm feeling prepared. Don't you wanna feel good? Don't you wanna feel good, good, good?
When you say you were leaving, I thought that you meant it. I played the victim, you start as indifferent. Hindsight comes standard with rose-colored lenses. Hate to admit it, you're better off. Now you're too afraid to look, too scared to miss it. We're night and day, solar eclipses. Too afraid to look, too scared to miss it. We're night and day, solar eclipses. Solar eclipses. Solar eclipses.
Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it.
Maybe feeling change, I can remember all the reasons why we've been separate ways. Feeling all alone in your company, keeping you captive in Billy James.
We're night and day, solar eclipses. Too afraid to look, too scared to miss it. We're night and day, solar eclipses. Solar eclipses. Solar eclipses.
Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start again.
Tomorrow we build. Depends on the future we want, we can make it as real. Maybe we will go, give up the ego. Making it feel good. Too scared to just let it go. Too scared to just let it go. Tomorrow we build. Depends on the future we want, we can make it as real. Maybe we will go, give up the ego. Making it feel good. Too scared to just let it go. Too scared to just let it go.
Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start again. We can start again. We can start it.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. We're well underway into Season 3 here, and this is the league play portion of this matchup. We're going to be heading into the Rival League. We've got a fantastic matchup there. Before we go into there, I'd like to announce my co-announcer here. What's going on, Speed? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well today, Merely. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Excited to be back in the booth once again. Things are heating up a little bit here as we've got some division matchups. This is a very important week to try and break out from the pack. As far as standings go, one of the more important weeks as players will be seeing who's going to rise to the top of their division and who will sink towards the bottom. We've got the Knights versus Distortion here. Definitely a very important game for both of these teams, as Distortion there sitting at 1-4 really needs a win to try and pull their way back into this race of divisions, try and make their way into a playoff picture. While on the other hand, Knights still in the middle of the pack as far as standings are concerned. If they can get a win here, it'll put them ahead a little bit.
Yeah, both teams have had some ups and downs this season so far. Distortion a little on the downside, but their overall game record, they're still 7-12. So they're getting wins even in their games that they're losing. So they're still pushing hard, they're still trying. You don't expect anything less from Ray Ray's teams out here. And then the Knights team's my team. They've had some ups and downs as well themselves. But they did come off of a huge win last on Monday against Hydra. Um, Game 5, taking down the last undefeated team in the rival league. So no, they're feeling pretty good coming into the night. I just talked to them, and they said that they're feeling really good for tonight's matchup. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. Um, but huge game this is. You're playing your second rival opponent, your divisional rival opponent, and you don't want to go down 2 games if you're Distortion here. Um, you definitely want to get 1-1 going into your third divisional game.
Yeah, most definitely. And that was a huge win for the Knights, like you said, against Hydra, the last undefeated team. And they're gonna want to keep their foot on the gas heading into this one as well. Distortion might not have the best record, but as you said, a lot of their games have been close. It seems like their games record's still fairly even. And they do have one of the only 1,700 players. I believe he's one of four. In Gabe there, sitting at 1,702. And they only had one cap space remaining. So it seems like they put a lot of stock into getting these high MMR players. Ray also staying up there at 1,640. So Distortion, not a team to be knocked out of contention just yet. Since you do have a little bit of insider information, you have any insight on how the Knights roster is shaping up with the 3 key players?
Yeah, we made a trade about a week ago. Or we made a roster move about a week ago. We dropped Ned and we picked up Tyrant, one of Jay Hayes' friends, and they're looking pretty good. But Shun, Jay Hay, and Vulcan, Vulcan is a solid, great player. He's sitting just under Titan already. He might have actually hit it the last time I talked to him. I know he was pushing for it. So, he may be the bottom of the team on the MMR on the sheet, but he's pushing pretty high in the MMR. I think he is actually the highest on the team currently. So those 3, if they can get rolling and they can stay on top of things, they look pretty good. They did go to a first game of the season. Those 3 went to a game 5 overtime against Pineapples, which was not a game 5. They went into a 5-minute overtime against Pineapples with those 3. So if those 3 can play well, they can hang in there with the best of the best. So it's exciting to see that.
Wait, against Pineapples? I'm sorry, I don't know if I recall that matchup. I'm
It
on the
was
Pineapples.
Yeah, it was first match of the season. It wasn't a game 5. I messed up there, but
Oh, right.
the
Yeah,
third
okay.
game Vulcan came in and you forced it to like a 4 or 5 minute overtime, so that was exciting to see.
That's right, actually. And good to see his fan on the roster there. can be an important matchup if you can get your friend into the league, especially like you said with that trade. Hopefully, some pre-established chemistry there. But it looks like we do finally have all of the players in the lobby. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it to you for a quick prediction. Speed, who do you think is gonna take this one?
Um, I think not to be biased, but the Knights will take this in a game 5, coming off of that huge, exciting upset over Hydra last Monday. I think they definitely have some momentum coming in.
Yeah, you would definitely expect to see it. And with the record also favoring the prediction, we'll have to see how Distortion fares here in this matchup. They can get a win, puts them much closer to their opponents in the standings. So we're already well into this one. Ball sent into the Distortion zone, and that's already a shot from Jay. I believe that's how you pronounce that name, and a fast read coming out from him here.
Yeah, great pressure right there coming out from the Knights. Shun putting that off of the backboard, and Jay just able to read that and sneak that into that far post.
And that's a tough position to be in. If you don't already have someone on backboard there, highly unlikely you're going to be able to beat the attacker to that ball. Jay taking full advantage, and with somewhat ease, will give the first goal of the game to the Knights. So they're already looking strong here. This one sent out to the middle. Gabe gets a vital beat. So that one was going to be tough. And Pancake actually had a bit of an open net. Don't think he expected the defender to miss there. Might still turn into a goal, but Vulcan standing strong on the goal line will let that one escape. As the ball's sent back into the Distortion half of the field. Pancake gonna get a nice beat. Ball's off the backboard once again. Gabe sending it off the backboard as well. And Vulcan, once again, back just in time. So far, seeing a little bit back and forth here as the play develops. But that's going to be a tough shot to save. And there we go. Knights score again.
Yeah, Knights score again. Put them up 2 early on in this game. But honestly, looking at this gameplay so far, it's kind of been even. Knights have had the 2 scoring opportunities and they've capitalized. But Distortion's been right there. They've had great chances themselves. They just got to capitalize on those.
I'd have to agree. Distortion has had a couple of looks at net as well. They just haven't been able to find the accuracy required. It does seem like they're struggling just a little bit to find that open shot and take advantage of it. So here comes the Knights again. Shun looking for the flip reset. Gets it under 1. Gets it almost under a second. Gabe barely reading that one. The ball's off the backboard again. The Pancake will be there. Now here comes Jay looking for the pre-flip. Can't find it, but the net's almost temporarily open. Ray with a chance to counterattack here. Shun cuts in nicely. This ball is sent back once again. So far, it does seem like the Knights have a little bit of a speed advantage here. Speed. How can the Distortion kind of break that down?
I think they're gonna have to control this midfield. That's the biggest thing is they're not controlling the midfield, and they're allowing Knights to get that momentum built up through that midfield. So if they can take over that midfield pressure, they should start being able to pick up the speed and get their rotations sharper on point.
That is often where the game is fought, won, and lost, as another shot blocked here. This follow-up almost goes in, but another clutch save, and, Knights are barely making it back in time for some of these. They look like they're going to get scored on multiple times. The defense just barely good enough as this one goes off the backboard once again. Something to know. Seems like Distortion is getting a little bit more aggressive. They were able to create an opportunity there off of a demo as they're almost able to create another. Vulcan, once again, just rock solid on the goal line. And Pancake going to have to rush back for this one. The pressure unrelenting, though, as Jay's up for this one. Passing down to Shun actually goes back over, but no shot follow-up. And now with all 3 players overcommitted, this could be an opportunity for Distortion. But lack of communication, it seems, from Distortion won't allow any shots to be taken. And Knights kind of looking comfortable. Feels like Distortion maybe panicking a little bit here. I don't think they've been on stream yet. Maybe a little bit of nerves playing in here, Speed.
Yeah, I know my first stream game of the season, I always have nerves. Even though I've played on several stream games, for some reason, the first one of the season, the first time that everyone in Nemesis really gets to see what your team has, it's always nerve-wracking. So that could definitely come into play here for the Distortion team. So, give them a game and see if they bounce out of it in game 2. or if they can bounce out of it here in this last minute of game 1.
There is still time, but Knights look fully in control right now as Vulcan comes through and gets the bar down shot.
Yeah, great punishment right there by Vulcan. Unfortunate J-Hay didn't get the pass what he wanted, but Rayway gets the demo and doesn't secure that touch in time, and Vulcan there to punish him.
And it looked like he meant to get the demo. Maybe wasn't expecting to get as hefty of a touch there as he did in Ray. But now Distortion's job becomes a little bit harder. So now they're down 3 goals. Only 50 seconds remaining. And the Knights continue to look solid. That one's going to go very high over. Gabe trying to reach it. And drops it down actually almost into the midfield. But Shun reads that one perfectly. And another counterattack. Vulcan taking a shot. Just wasting more time. Trying to avoid giving Distortion any opportunities. But this could be one as a big double commit. Pancake passing over to Ray. Going to take control. But how much boost does he have to work with? Going to try to set up a shot. Gets it past one. With what looked like an unintentional fake. I don't know if he'll be able to get past the entire team. And now with 14 seconds left, does look like game 1 is done and dusted. And honestly, I have to say, Knights looked completely in control of this game from start to finish.
Yeah, Knights looked really good. They controlled the midfield. They were able to just race back a couple times on defense, getting 6 saves in the game on the 6 shots that the Distortion team had. And Distortion only getting 2 saves on the Knights 8 shot. Excuse me. I misread that. Knights getting 7 saves on the 9 shots that Distortion had. And Distortion only getting the 2 saves on the 8 shots that Knights had. So, they're getting shots, but the Knights are just there. They're controlling the midfield. So I think if Distortion wants to bounce back in this game too, they need to take over that midfield, as I stated earlier. Play a little faster, and get those shots to start falling.
Yeah, it looks like, as you pointed out, if you look at the scoreboard, the pressure really wasn't that unbalanced, just counting shots. The main difference, Distortion just able to save every single one of the 6 shots from the Knights. Or, sorry, wait. I also misread the scoreboard. The Knights were able to save, 7 out of 8 shots from Distortion. I mean, some of the shots that Distortion were taking weren't really bad shots either. I mean, a couple of them were just kind of testing the goalkeeper, but a few of them presented real threats, and Knights just able to keep every single one out. If they can keep up that defense, I mean, what do you think the Knights have to do, or Distortion has to do, to try and break through here, other than controlling the midfield, which once they've been able to get the ball past the midfield, but then once they're in the opponent's half, I mean, they just can't get the ball into the net.
Yeah, honestly, I think the biggest thing is their second guy is either panicking after those shots, because the shot, not all of them were perfect saves. So, and a couple of them bounced straight down in front of the net. So they need to have their second man there to finish those up. And when he is there, he needs to not panic. You saw a couple times that their second man would come flying in and not able to get that touch back on net. So, put shots on net. That's key one. They've done that. 2, follow those up and have good second touches off of those second chances.
That's a good point. A lot of the times you aren't going to score on the first shot, but it's important to have someone sticking around and in a good position to make a better shot than the first attempt, or to just take a shot when the defense is a little bit out of position. And a questionable read there, but it turns into a nice pass as Pancake's able to put that one home.
Yeah, exactly what we were talking about there. Gabe unable to get that touch on net, but luckily for him, his second teammate was in a perfect position to capitalize.
And that time it did work out for them. A nice little kickoff goal that'll hopefully alleviate some of the concerns for Distortion, as they're not shut out of the series completely anymore. Finally able to put one through. But almost off the kickoff, a disaster, as Distortion was barely able to keep that one out of the net. Now it will allow the Knights to have an opportunity for a pressure play, as Ray taking this one down the field. A nice clear out by Jay. The defense a little bit out of position, but Gabe reads the miss well. We'll take that one past the attacker. Now Pancake with a little bit of space here, chooses to take the boost as well as go for possession, but it's going to backfire as Gabe just barely has to make a touch. Does so well though, as that ball will be kept out of the danger zone for just a little bit longer. Now here comes Ray Ray. Maybe got a flip reset on that pre-flip. I don't think he quite got it, but it was almost an excellent play. It's now a minute underway. All we've seen so far is that one kickoff goal, and Knights already not finding as much success as game one here.
Now, Distortion definitely seems to have picked it up a little bit. Their rotations look a little cleaner. They're getting more pressure in that midfield, as we stated. And Knights just haven't quite adjusted to that yet. So if they can keep this going for a little bit longer, you know, they definitely have looking good to secure this game too.
Definitely, especially if they can put at least one more on the scoreboard. They're doing a good job of keeping the ball out of their own net, but they have to try to secure an even bigger lead. Knights never safe from. As Vulcan hang this one off the post. A huge bump by Shun, and that one actually just going to go a little bit high. The follow-up isn't good either. Distortion once again just hanging on by a thread, but they still haven't been scored on in this game too. Looking good, but there's still 3 minutes to go. Going to have to make a lot more clutch saves if the trend continues and they want to win the game. So third man commits. There comes Shun. Pancake with a big clear. This could be a huge opportunity for Distortion, but Gabe just doesn't have the boost to get a good follow-up. Ball will be sent back once again. That's a huge miss. Ray Ray, luckily there to account for his teammate's error, bailing him out. The ball is shut down once again, but it seems like we just keep seeing this ball speed get sent back into the Distortion half over and over. You wonder how long it's going to take them to score as Vulcan once again rushes back just in time. And I almost claimed the Knights were going to score as Distortion didn't, but luckily Vulcan saved me from that disaster.
Yeah, you know, the Knights are getting the ball in the Distortion end, and they're getting the opportunities, just not able to fall. And it is taking Distortion a little while to get those clears back into the Knights end, but when they do, they're looking very scary and dangerous. So this game still can go in either direction, and Distortion just has to hold on to this 1-goal lead.
And that's a huge double demo as the net is open. And what a play from Pancake to open it up. Ray Ray with the strong finish. Distortion now up 2.
Yeah, Distortion, that's exactly what they needed, you know. Get them another goal, give them a 2-0 lead, get themselves feeling comfortable coming down to this home stretch of game 2, knowing that the Knights have looked scary, have had a lot of pressure on them. And if they can keep feeling good here, they could turn this whole series around here just with a powerful game 2.
They're already looking to even it up as another shot goes home from Ray Ray. And now, Distortion, excuse me, in a comfortable position.
Yeah, Distortion, keep pounding this ball in and get yourself a nice comfortable game 2. And, you know, kind of put the Knights on their back heel. You know, they came out with a powerful game 1, even it up. And from there, it's just going to be who can stop the bleeding and who can manage the pressure the best.
And I have to say, this is almost an exact role reversal of game 1 here. Knights have 6 shots. Distortion has the same amount of shots, but Knights just can't get anything through the defense. It's almost exactly like game 1, except Distortion is the Knights, and Distortion actually going to do one better, making it 4-0.
Yeah, Distortion's looking really good here. They're pulling out the bump and demo plays, and it's working really well for them. So expect them to see that here coming in the rest of the series, especially here in the rest of game 2.
Most definitely. I have to comment on this. What car is Jay using? Because is that, I don't even know what that car is called. I mean, it looks like a beach cruiser or something. Oh, okay. Knights finally gonna get their 1 goal, but my attention is still focused on whatever car Jay is using.
I don't know what car he's using. I'm not as familiar with all the cars. I pretty much just stick to the Dominus myself, but Jay's always using a different car. Every time I've seen him in a lobby, he has a different car. So
I love that.
who knows?
People who use different cards other than the Octane and Dominus are my favorite people. Even though I only use the Octane and Dominus. I admire that other people can do it though, because I just mentally for some reason cannot do that. And actually a good opportunity here. Jay just gonna miss the pass. Still technically enough time for the Knights to come back. It's going to take a miracle though, as this one they might have just found it. 30 seconds left, and at the rate they're scoring, it is still possible for a comeback.
Yes, it is. Excellent play right there by Shun, beating the 2 defenders in the corner and getting that perfect pass for Vulcan to finish that and giving them 31 seconds to get 2 more goals. And, you know, they do have the offensive manpower to do that. It's just, will the Distortion
Oh
defense
no.
allow it?
Oh no.
Oh no.
And not only does the Distortion defense allow one more goal to be scored, but that is a really tough goal to concede. They are going to be feeling very nervous for the next 24 seconds.
That they are, and the fact that they allowed that so early on after allowing that second goal gives the Knights enough time where they don't have to feel the huge pressure of needing to score right away. So this is going to be a nail biter coming down with the last 15 seconds here, Muley.
And only 10 seconds left. The Knights, even though they've already gone 3 goals, that was almost the opportunity. It goes just barely left. That one's across. The shot is good. And Jay ties it up with 3 seconds left. I can't believe it. The 4-goal comeback with barely a minute left.
Yeah, I mean, great pinch right there by Shun, not pinching it too hard, bouncing off of the Distortion defender, and Jay Hay with that tough angle to squeeze that in. You know he was feeling the pressure, and that's a great shot right there. Feeling the pressure, knowing you need the goal, and still able to put it on and find it in the back of the net.
Yeah, if I had to score that goal on basically 0 seconds, I think my hands would have been so sweaty my fingers would have completely slipped off the controller. But Jay remains calm and collected, and now we are in an overtime, completely unprecedented in this game too. Looks like Knights going to have the first chance, but this could be a counterattack here. Vulcan barely making it back to get the clear once again. Vulcan has been the man on defense for the Knights, holding it down. Will it be enough to take game 2 as well as game 1? Vulcan with a huge clear. Jay might jump for this with no boost. Didn't have quite enough. Now Ray an awkward spot though, and Vulcan gonna put that one home after being down 0-4. You know what? In the last minute, Knights just decided, oh hey, we forgot to turn on our monitors. Should probably do that now.
Yeah, no, that's a sign of a great team right there. You know, you're down late, 4 goals, not just 1, not just 2 goals, but 4 goals. Able to bounce back, force overtime, and remain calm. You know, great job by them. And Distortion, you definitely are feeling tough, especially the way you let up that 3rd goal. Um, it's just you hope that they're able to, you know, take this whole full minute break, you know, talk about it and clear your heads. You have to just come into this as if it's a 0-0 series still. Forget that the first 2 games happen and just play 1 game at a time. You know, you can't let these previous games get into your head.
Yeah, that's a really difficult position to be in. If Distortion can make a comeback in the series, the reverse sweep after that game, it'll be almost as impressive as this 4-goal comeback from Distortion, because mentally that is just a very tough feat. We'll have to see how well they can stay composed. Take it 1 game at a time, and it looks like they will get their substitute in here. So Pancake looks like going to be heading out for this one, as Distortion definitely feeling like they have to change something up. I mean, they looked so good in the first 4 minutes of that game. They were doing everything right. They were saving everything. They were taking full advantage of their counterattacks, but they just let it slip through. I mean, they can't do that again, Speed.
No, they can't. And I think for them to feel really good here in game 3, they need to get this first goal. Especially with how game 2 ended. If they don't get the first goal here, I wonder where their mentality is going to be at. And honestly, Rocket League is 50% skill and I think 50% mentality. You see a lot of people let it get to their heads when they're not playing well or games aren't going the way they think they should, and it never helps. And with Rocket League being just a video game, it honestly makes it worse sometimes. The mentality that you have, it means a lot.
Yeah, mentality is everything, especially in a game like Rocket League. I mean, any game that is technically fought with more so your mind rather than your physicality, especially a game like Rocket League, games like chess, I'll note, are very much so dependent on where your mind is at, and if you can keep that calm and collected confidence that it is still possible for you to win. And that's really what Distortion has to do right now. They are down in the series 2 games, but it's not over yet. They have a fresh start here in game 3. Let's see what they make of it. Vulcan already with the attack. Nothing yet, but that ball is bouncing dangerously midfield. Ray able to make a crucial touch. And the sub here, F5, I'm Botsy 55. Okay, sorry, I got distracted by pronouncing that guy's name. But as we have it, the Knights are going to score first. That does not bode well for Distortion, but a nice play there by Shun.
Yeah, nice solo play there by Shun. Excuse me. Nice solo play there by Shun, as I was saying. You know, with a nice dribble, getting the flick past the defender, and as you said, that doesn't bode well for Distortion, who really needed to come out strong and get this first goal here in Game 3, with them on match point. As Vulcan puts one on, and oof, great save there by the Distortion squad to, you know, keep themselves in this game and not down any more than they already are.
Yeah, and they still are very much in it. Gabe making another save, but they're just getting hammered on the goal line. Finally finding some space, though, as Botsy tries to put that one middle. No one there for the follow-up. The ball will get cleared once again. Botsy taking it past one, trying to get it past another. Only go as far as Ray. So bump is attempted by the attacker from the Knights. Won't amount to much, and Vulcan here off the ceiling. That one's going to bounce middle. Gabe getting another very important touch. But so far, Distortion just seems like they're on the back foot. They need to try to gain some sort of advantage here, especially with having to win 3 games in a row. The more time they let go on here, I mean, the less time they have to make that comeback.
Yeah, they definitely want to give themselves as much time as possible, and sooner the better, because you don't want them sitting here panicking, knowing that they're down a goal and they're on match point. That's not good for the mentality side, as we talked about. So as Ray puts one on, and Jay getting the touch, and now a big clear by Shun. Can they make something happen of this?
And I mean, Knights just look so confident right now. You know they're feeling amazing after miraculously pulling off that comeback in the last one. They just look like they are at full confidence, going for every touch, not hesitating. You see Jay off the ceiling here, down to Shun. That one's just barely off the crossbar, but the defenders decided it's such a good play that they can't. They're offended not seeing it go in, so they decide to put it in themselves.
Honestly, it's such a shame to see that Distortion, you know, getting lucky there. The post hit by Jay but you know, just the unfortunate touch there with the own goal, and you know that definitely is going to put a huge damper on their mentality, and I really want them to bounce back here. I want them to bounce back, especially being such high-level, skillful players. You know, we definitely like to see the great games that this rivalry can bring, and as Jay is going to get the 50 dunk and put it in and go up 3-0 here for the Knights.
And once again, it's just, it looks like Distortion's starting to get a little bit desperate. They feel like they have to put in goals soon, which they do, but they still do have time. That being said, Knights now up 3, still looking like they're in complete control of the game, still in complete control of the series. I hope Distortion can find as amazing of a comeback in this game as the Knights did in the last one, because I really want to see that comeback, or that content, and just for the you know, the great revenge story. But I don't know if we're gonna be able to see that here. As a minute and a half left, Distortion trailing, trying to make something happen, but here comes Jay. Botsy will be on the goal line for that one. Nice speed there by Gabe. Distortion might have an opportunity here, but that center not going to be quite powerful enough. Ray coming through. Another clear. This one's going to get popped up. Gabe centering it, and I don't know if there's anyone there. Actually, no one there for either team. But all this time wasting is definitely favoring the Knights. It's now 1 minute remaining. 3 goals required for Distortion to stay alive in the series. They are struggling to put together anything.
They really are, and you know, they looked great, like you said, at the start of game 2. We talked about them needing to control the midfield, and they did that. They controlled the midfield. They got a lot of bumps and passing, bump and demo plays, and they were looking good as a team. You know, they passed. They were finding the open player, and they looked really good. And then they kind of fell away from it, and the comeback happened, and now it looks like they're just kind of going for solo plays, trying to bang it and follow it up for a double touch. And this Knights team, their defense is looking really good, and you can't do that on a good defensive team. They're gonna read those 99% of the time, and it's not gonna favor it's not gonna go in your favor.
Absolutely not. It just looks like we didn't see the same distortion here that we saw in game 2. They did look really convincing there. For a second, I thought they might take the series 4-1 with the amount of momentum that they gained, but that crushing blow, coming back 5 goals, just too much from the Knights. And at the end of the day, the Knights did play a fantastic game. If you're Distortion, it's going to be hard to take that loss, but you can't really feel too bad about it because you kind of just got outplayed.
Yeah, you hate to look at it that way, but sometimes you do, like you said, just get outplayed, and there's nothing you can do about it. Good teams find a way to bounce back, and that's what the Knights were able to do in game 2. And ever since then, Distortion Squad, I, they just weren't able to bounce back, and it's unfortunate to see that. But they still have another divisional game on Monday. Monday is another divisional game. So you hope that they're able to, you know, reflect over the weekend and go into Monday's game and say, hey, we still have time. Especially with a divisional game they can still take. It's huge for them to bounce back for Monday.
Yeah, most definitely. And that will be an important game as, like you said, divisions, you win one, it can affect your record, but you win another one and you even it out, even make your record a little bit better than just winning a normal one. So if Distortion can bounce back, definitely will be good for them. Also, a great look for the Knights now moving up to 4-2. Definitely going to give them an edge in their division. Beating Hydra on Monday as well, which will looks well. And looking at the team that we saw there, definitely some contenders not to be messed around with in the rival league there. That will finish it up for their first matchup of the stream, though. Thank you once again to the Knights and Distortion for putting on a show for us. We always love to have you guys come on here, create some content for us. Absolutely banger of a series. And right after this one, we will be heading into the Challenger League, where we've got the Papayas taking on Snowstorm, which the Papayas record 1-4, but I wouldn't count them out just yet, as they did take Ascension to 5 games. And Snowstorm also, they're looking like a good team, so you're definitely not going to miss that one. Thanks again, guys, for joining us, and we'll catch you right after this short break.